Welcome to the Barrel Room Podcast, your front row seat to the world of whiskey and bourbon. In every episode, we're pouring up something we're talking about, from small batch standouts to big label legends. We sip, review, and break it all down one pour at a time. We'll talk tasting notes, tell stories, give the occasional review on real-life experiences, and every now and then bring in a special guest from the industry to share a pour and a conversation. This podcast is made possible by the generous support of our sponsors. Edward Jones, Chris Bridget, Age Wisdom, Bold Strategies. Fallen Buds Craft Experience, crafted in honor, shared in remembrance. Maui's Liquor, pouring paradise one bottle at a time. The Barrel Room Bourbon Plum. Pull up a chair, we're waiting for you on the inside. And Grillo's Chop and Barrel, where fine whiskey meets fine meat. So pull up a chair, have a pour as we dive into this week's episode of the Barrel Room Podcast. This pour of the Barrel Room is brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Chris Ridgick. Just like a well-aged whiskey, a solid financial plan takes time, patience, and the right guidance. Whether you're investing for the future or planning your next big barrel pick, Chris is here to help you build a strategy that fits your goals and your lifestyle. So let's raise a glass to smart decisions and visit edwardjones.com/Chris Ridgick to get started. And now, this week's episode of the Barrel Room Podcast, let's welcome our hosts, Kenny Gales and Brian Biskey.
Hello, Barrel Room Nation. Brian Biskey, co-host and co-founder of the Barrel Room Bourbon Club and the Barrel Room Podcast. Wanted to jump on here real quick and announce a new partner that we have, a new sponsorship in Maui's Liquor in Cottonville, Missouri. So Joe Maui and Kenny and I have connected, come up with a really cool program for the Barrel Room Bourbon Club and the Barrel Room Podcast. If you listen to episode, I think it was 5 or 6, we had Joe Maui here on the Barrel Room Podcast. And so we decided to kind of work together and collaborate and try to help each other businesses out. And so he has been gracious enough to sponsor us. And so starting this month here in August, for the month of August, we're going to raffle off one bottle of whiskey to our top fans, essentially. And so what does that mean? That means if you like or share anything on our Facebook page or comment on our Facebook page for the Barrel Room Podcast, that like or that share will be basically tracked on the back end of Facebook. And so at the end of that month of August, we'll take the top 5 fans that we have in the Barrel Room Podcast, the person who's shared the most or liked the most posts or made the most comments. We'll take those 5 names, we'll throw them in here in this Barrel Room Bourbon Club hat, we'll draw a name, and that lucky winner will win a free bottle of whiskey on behalf of Maui's Liquor. We can pick that bottle up in one of our partners, either Grillo's Chop and Barrel, Maui's Liquor, or come to the Barrel Room Bourbon Club, which is the last Thursday of every month at the Post Sports Bar and Grill in Lake St. Louis. Or you can contact Kenny or I, and we can make sure that we get it to you. But it's kind of exciting to welcome Joe Maui to the family and welcome Maui's Liquor in Cottonville, Missouri to kind of the club. So really excited about that. Also, this episode is going to be a little unique. It's not a new release, so to speak. It's a collaboration of the last 8 episodes we've had here at the Barrel Room Bourbon Club and the Barrel Room Podcast. We've taken some clips from the last kind of 8 episodes, some of the great guests we've had, the great bottles we've shared, the great stories or funny stories that we've shared, and kind of compiled them to kind of a collaboration of the last, episodes, 4.5, 5 months that we've been doing this. Unfortunately, Kenny and I had a little bit of a scheduling conflict this week, and so we were not able to record a brand new episode, but we didn't want to miss a Friday without putting one out. And so we decided to kind of just look back at the last 8 episodes and kind of share the highlights, I guess you could say, from those episodes. So a little fun, tune in, watch it. I think you'll get some chuckles and forget about some old conversations we had or old stories we told. Maybe even hear about a bottle that we loved that you don't remember, or didn't get a chance to listen to that episode. So a little unique episode. We'll be back here next Friday. So we'll release another episode next Friday. That will be a new episode, and that's going to be with Kenny and I. We're going to talk about Michigan and Traverse City and Hawaii, which is kind of planned for this Friday. Following that week, we got some incredible guests coming up, some local distilleries, some local spots here in the St. Charles County area that we're going to collaborate with, bring them onto the show, have them talk about their company, their organization, their brand, and continue to kind of collaborate here in our St. Charles County, Missouri area. Always looking for great guests or new guests, I should say, for the podcast. So if you ever are interested and think you have something to share or bring to the club and the podcast, feel free to reach out to Kenny and I, or really anybody at the Barrel Room Bourbon Club. It's kind of become a family, kind of a community of just fellowship. And so we're always looking for new guests and great guests to bring on the show. And so we don't want to throw that out to you today, but sit back, relax, give yourself a pour, and watch some of the best clips that we put together from the last 8 episodes of the Barrel Room Podcast.
They source everything from local Missouri farms. So 100% of the beef that you're eating from our shop is coming from a Missouri farm, a small Missouri farm. And it makes a big difference on quality when you're getting it from small local farmers versus, a massive corporation. And then also the shipping aspect of that, right? So what people don't think about is if you transport cattle 500 miles to a processing plant and you process them, they were stressed out that entire trip, right? Like that's not an easy trip for cattle. And so that those stress hormones decrease the quality of the meat.
It's like Fireball. Still the number one selling alcohol in America.
But not to go on a tangent, but you have your version of Fireball. So do you want to?
And it's amazing.
Just give a quick.
Is it better than Fireball?
Oh my God.
Fireball tastes just like I'm drinking like cinnamon
ethanol.
Yes.
Which is what it is.
Yeah. Which is why I can do a shot and I can want no more.
Well, here's the test.
It's like antifreeze.
If you drink it at room temperature and throw up, should you drink it again later if it's cold? No. No, you should.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom.
Fireball's banned.
You guys remember that, okay?
Fireball's banned
Listen to this guy.
in at least 10 countries because of the propylene glycol content, which our idiotic government says it's the acceptable parts per million per serving. Who the fuck drinks a per serving amount of any alcohol?
Nobody.
I assure you, not one person listening or you two ever have in your lives.
No.
So there's dozens of kids in the hospital because of drinking Fireball all day, all weekend. It's absolutely horrendous.
I got a feeling the RFK Jr. will get rid of that.
Mine is corn whiskey that I make from scratch, and it has Saigon cinnamon sticks and cinnamon oil, and then just sugar water.
Pretty much all natural.
All natural.
Perfect.
That's it.
Look how dark that is.
Well, this is super dark.
This one's
So anyway, if anybody wants an alternative to Fireball, what's the name of yours?
It's Devil's Forge.
Devil's Forge.
And the only reason it's called that is because it was going to be called Fire and Forge, and because of we tried to name so many things, blacksmithy, if I may. But on my third iteration of the formula, I was trying to go for 67 proof, like Fireball, and it kept going up to 66.6 every time.
Oh,
every
no
time.
way.
So I said, fuck it, I'm changing the name.
Absolutely perfect.
And it's Devil's Forge. And so then I went to my brother in LA. I'm like, all right, the new name is Devil. You need to come up with a creative damn label. And so now there's the devil in the background and little spirits floating up. And
absolutely perfect.
It worked out.
Well, and like I've said this now, probably a couple times here, but I never would have picked up on that unless you said it. And now as soon as I smell, that's all I smell.
I mean, the only reason why, my wife, we both been to the distillery multiple times. Every time we walk in there, it's what you smell.
Yeah.
It's banana. So,
yeah.
But
when we walked into Western Kentucky, when we went back in their warehouse, you could just smell the wheat. You could smell, you could smell the corn.
Smells awesome.
Yeah. It smells like money.
I need that air freshener.
Yeah,
it smells like money.
It smells like money.
Need that air freshener, yeah. So,
you want to know how much I sold that Pappy 10 for? $109.
Wait, what happened?
The Pappy 10?
Who did?
We do. We sell it for $109.
No, you don't.
Yeah, we do. Bourbon. We do a big bourbon raffle every year.
What's coming up?
Yeah, we'll have a Christmas one.
So yeah, well, when I was in there,
I got tickets for
it.
Yeah, so if you spend $75, you get one ticket. If you buy any store picks, you get two tickets.
Okay.
I think I spent $300, so I don't know how many I got.
We'll take care of you.
Keith Collier, if you're watching this podcast, I'm in the middle of checking out. Your employee's like trying to ask me questions on these tickets. Yeah. Keith's calling me, asking me about how he signs up for Behind the Barrel. And I'm like so confused. So my wife took care of it. I'm like, did you do that right? She's like, I think so.
So we only ask for your first name and last 4 digits.
Oh, then you got me.
Yeah, that's all we ask
All right.
for.
Everybody's going to smoke different cigars and have different palates. Him and I have different palates. My neighbor across the street, Bob, we have different palates. As long as you're, having fellowship and making, that's what whiskey all is to me.
100%.
It's just, and cigars. It's just socializing and having something to bond over and talk about, which is what makes really this St. Louis community really, really cool, because there's so many different people like Mike Grillo, Demetrius, you guys, Joe Maui, St. Louis Bourbon Site, we all kind of become friends through just this community of whiskey and cigars. And to me, that's why I do it, and I love whiskey.
Yeah, you meet like-minded people, the fellowship, everything that's involved.
If I didn't start this, him and I didn't start this podcast, I don't know if we would have met. For sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
This is an 8-year single barrel release from my brand, Fallen Brothers Crafted Spirits. It's a 95.5 rye.
Hell yeah.
And what it is to honor the men and women who served our country. And with every bottle comes a challenge coin. And this bottle's priced at $95. So let's go ahead.
Gorgeous bottle.
One of the cool.
I love it. I love the artwork and the challenge coin and everything.
So yeah, and as per usual, a portion of this bottle, every portion of every bottle typically goes back to Backstoppers, unless we have, a rare case where somebody reaches out to us that needs some financial assistance with medical bills or whatever it may be. Previously it was with Tommy Shine, the fire captain. They went through all his stuff, who is now still recovering, getting prosthetics and rehabbing. He was home last week. He went back to continue rehabbing, and they'll be back this week for Memorial Day. So,
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you probably covered it on the podcast before, but can you just remind us, how did you get into the brand and why you ended up doing it and everything, the backstory?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm currently a firefighter paramedic, and I've been firefighter paramedic for 11 years now. And I have a wife, and I have 2 kids, a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. And I always had a passion for whiskey and bourbon, and for the last 10 years I've been kind of collecting whiskeys. And so then the idea came along somewhere, I guess, about year 6 or 8. I always wanted a brand of my own. I'm like, well, if I'm loving all these whiskeys, why don't I just start a brand? And I started looking into it. I'm like, holy crap, okay. Well, I guess I'll just continue drinking in my basement, and then I'll figure it out. And then, I would drink a bottle, and then the next day it'd come along. And then a year goes by, and it's like, all right, today we're starting it, And so then I was like, I want something in case I was to die in the line of duty to be able to, my family, know that my family be taken care of. So that's why the brand actually started. So the passion for whiskey, the current career that I'm in, and knowing the risk and what can happen, I was like, let me start something that could take care of my family if I were to die in the line of duty. So we decided to start the brand, and then we decided a portion of everything we make will go back to Backstoppers, which is an organization that supports families who have lost a loved one in the line of duty. So that's
Great organization.
Yep. So, and then last year the brand actually started and launched on 9/11, and we actually did a toast when the first plane hit the first tower.
That was so cool.
We were there.
Yep.
That was so cool.
I was
Yeah.
there as well.
It was a great tribute, great way to start the brand.
I appreciate all of you guys for being there. So
That was awesome.
This brand means a
I'll never
lot.
forget. We got there. We did the first toast till 8:39, 8:38.
Something like that. Yeah.
When
So
the first plane hit, and then we did toast when the second plane hit,
Mhm.
and so I'm leaving. It's like, I don't know, 9:30, 9:45 in the morning, and I'm like, should I've had 2, 3 shots of whiskey? I'm going to work. And I walk in, my boss goes, "Where you been this morning?" I said, "Drinking whiskey." He goes, "What?" So I told him the story. He was like, "Oh, that's cool."
I had to do it.
yeah. So we had a pretty good line out the distillery doors. When,
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
awesome.
that was awesome. So good showing, good start. And I think this could potentially be the best one yet. So
It's got a great nose. It's got a great nose.
343.
343.
That's a
That was the
great
first one.
bottle. This
Very good bottle.
Yep.
Sold out, of course.
Mhm.
Toasty marshmallow. It came in the coolest box ever, which were handmade.
Oh yeah.
handmade at the firehouse,
At the
actually.
firehouse.
So in between calls, yep.
About as cool as it gets.
Yeah.
Mhm. So we actually finished that one with 8 staves. So we added 4 toasted and 4 charged staves to the barrel.
Oh man, that's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good rye.
So this one just came out and it's still available now, right?
This one actually is releasing on 22nd at
Okay.
Lit, and then will be available. Yeah.
That is a classic rye whiskey.
So yeah,
So this
this
week.
Thursday, yeah, from 6 to 9 at the Cigar Lounge.
Yeah. So this episode will air on Friday, but Yeah, basically last night. We were at the lit.
It was a great time.
It was a great time.
It's funny you missed it.
That's
true.
Yeah, it's all sold out now.
Yeah, this is out on Friday or the release.
It's just
22nd.
Yeah.
There's still bottles. Of
Yeah, there's still bottles.
Because I'm woefully horrible. My wife is just hounding me. Get me a goddamn phone, that's not her phone, that's just for Blacksmith social media. And she's like,
Oh, shit.
I'll put all the updates, I'll send stuff on it. Because I just am like, I don't even want to fucking do it.
I do all mine, and it's growing.
so much work.
I think if you
It's
were to really
really
hone in on that and possibly do that, I think that would be very beneficial.
Hey, you were able
My
to sign up to be a member of the Barrel and Bourbon Club.
30 minutes ago.
You
I'm
figured that
saying,
out.
like
30
with
minutes.
mine, man, it
We got
hasn't
like
even been a year, and it's almost at 1,500
followers.
followers.
Oh, yeah.
So we're hitting or TikTok's at 2,500, and Instagram
You just need to
going
fall
up.
down the stairs.
I
I just need to
refuse.
fall down the stairs to get to go viral, and then I'll be holding a bottle and fall down the stairs, and it'll go viral. So
And then
anyway.
put, some blood or something, make it really look
Yeah,
violent.
ketchup.
And then people like me will watch it. 'cause
I'll have my wife
that's all
come
I
in the
watch.
background and squirt ketchup on me real quick. And
It's kind of an inside joke. About 4 years ago, on New Year's Day, I was walking out of my old house to walk down my stairs to go to my hot tub on New Year's Day. Hungover as shit, by the way, and had iced the day that night. And
stairs right here.
And so I walk on the deck and I slip. And if you know me, you've seen this video. It's got 40 million views. I got paid $10,000 to sell this video. Okay, guys. And I bit the hell out of my stairs, fell down, had a hot cup of coffee, burned my arm. I had a bruise on my thigh the size, when I say like this big, it was this freaking
It's that
big.
big.
I've got to see this video.
I get
I'll
a
show it to
cramp.
you.
I get a cramp in my abdomen every time I look at that video.
And my ring camera picked it up, and I crawled upstairs. I was crying. I was in pain. My wife was 9 months pregnant. She couldn't help me. I get into the bed. She gets me ice, and 3 or 4 hours later, she's like, "Babe, the ring camera caught that." And I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "We're putting that on social media."
Yes.
And within an hour, I had 20 phone calls from agencies in California wanting to buy the rights to the video.
No shit.
Swear to God. And so I sold it and made 10 grand over it on it in 2 years.
That
I
is
think we should put
fantastic.
this for the viewers to see afterwards.
Yeah, we'll put it. We'll put the link to the.
You can't leave them hanging.
Yeah,
They got to see it.
They got to
Now
see
that
it.
you've explained it.
we'll put the link in the.
Yeah, I want their
video.
abdomens to lock up like mine did.
Well, I'm telling you,
I just added cameras all over our old distillery, new distillery, not only for security, but now that my dad passed in October, my mom's in the house by herself. So I wanted the yard and all that to be covered. And I mean, Mike and I have had some epic fails. But they, what are you going to catch in a 1950 dairy barn? Nothing.
Yeah.
So now maybe we'll catch one of those.
yeah.
Right.
Well, I got some in my backyard now too. And last year I wanted to take. We always get a real Christmas tree down here in the basement. You think having a best friend as a firefighter, I would have thought through this a little bit more. But I took it outside. I was like, I'm just gonna light this son of a bitch on fire. That way, I don't have to cut it down and haul out to the front.
This turned out good.
Well, I mean, I lit the match or the lighter, and within seconds, I was engulfed in flames, pulling chairs back. All got it on video too. That's also on the TikTok channel.
Did you
Stay back, buddy. Stay back.
by any chance do a turkey and drop it in the
No.
thing and
Yeah.
catch shit on fire?
This year. We're gonna try that
We'll try that this year.
I mean, that's not what I told everybody.
Put a video in the street laughing.
He's on the back deck. What are you doing? He's cooking a turkey. I'm gonna see if it'll take
Don't
my
go
house.
back there.
Yeah,
So-
my wife will tell you I'm not the brightest crayon in the box.
Oh,
Right.
funny.
And the last night, the other cool thing that Virgin Cruise has that no other cruise line has is they have tattoo artists on board.
Yep.
So my wife and I got a tattoo on her last night. Note to self, don't drink before you get a tattoo. You'll bleed. I did. To the point
You told me you didn't drink.
yeah, tattoo guys, have you been drinking? I said, no.
No.
He goes, you're just a bleeder? I'm like, yeah. He goes, I smell whiskey on your breath. I'm like, shh. I signed the waiver that said I hadn't drank.
Right.
He was like, all right, good enough. But
So Stave and Thief
Mm-hmm.
is also known as Moonshine University, which is owned by Flavorman.
Okay.
And Flavorman basically across the street. So you can send them a bottle of anything and say, match this.
Yeah.
And they can create it.
Really?
Yeah.
Super neat.
They're not inexpensive.
I'm sure they're not.
But that comes with the certification, right? When you sign up for
This
the class.
does. Yeah. Yeah. And
Exactly.
Where'd you go down to get to this class at?
Louisville.
Yep.
Louisville.
Yeah. I'm sorry. If you spend a lot of time there, it's Louisville.
It's Louisville.
If you don't, it's
Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah, so I have a
I've been
good
there a few
friend.
times, and I call it Louisville.
Yeah.
That's what
It's
Lowell.
one syllable if you live there. Lowell.
Yeah, I have a good friend. Actually, used to work for me. Still works for us, but I changed roles a little bit, and he lives there. And he would always say, "It's not Louisville, it's Louisville." I'm like,
Louisville.
"Why you say so fast, man?" He's like, "Don't enunciate. It's Louisville."
Louisville.
Oh, okay.
all right, so let's dive into Virgin Cruise Lines.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. So let me set the stage here before we dive in. My wife and I got married March 20th, 2020. If you can think back to March 20th of 2020,
10 days after my birthday.
That's true. You'll remember that we were in the middle of a pandemic. My wife and I got married in Scottsdale, Arizona. We flew out there on Sunday, March 15th, 14th, something along those lines. And on that Sunday was when President Trump came out and said, we need 15 days or 2 weeks to, everybody basically stay home and slow the spread of this virus. And we were set to get married that Friday night, March 20th, at Camelback Mountain at the Marriott right there. And you want to talk about a shit show? It was a shit show. My four of my longest best friends, Ramsey family, my four groomsmen couldn't make it to the wedding. Allie's friends that she had coming couldn't make it to the wedding. We ended up with just our immediate family: my dad, his wife Carol, and my sister and her fiance Kevin was all I had on my side. And Allie had her immediate family, her sisters and brother-in-laws, and her mom and dad. So the week was crazy to say the least. And the reason I set the stage for that is our honeymoon, which was originally a cruise to Bermuda with Celebrity Cruise Lines, obviously was canceled because of it. And the only place in the United States that we could go was Key West.
Okay.
And so for our 5-year wedding anniversary, we decided to take a Virgin cruise that would stop in Key West.
That's cool.
Yeah, just to kind of remember it, I guess you'd say. So
It's like Fireball. Still the number one selling alcohol in America.
But
not to go on a tangent, but you have your version of Fireball. So
And-
do you want to
And it's amazing.
just give a quick?
is it
spiel
better
on
than
that?
Fireball?
Oh my
Fireball
God.
tastes just like I'm drinking like cinnamon.
Ethanol,
Yes.
which is what it is.
So yeah, if you
And
got,
which is why I can do a shot and I can want no more.
Well, here's the
it's
test.
like antifreeze.
If you drink it at room temperature and throw up, should you drink it again later if it's cold? No. No, you should.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom.
Fireball's
You guys remember that, okay?
Fireball's banned
Listen to this guy.
in at least 10 countries
Yeah.
because of the propylene glycol content, which our idiotic government says it's the acceptable parts per million per serving. Who the fuck drinks a per serving amount of any alcohol?
Nobody.
I assure you,
I
not
never
one
have.
person listening
No.
or you two ever have in your lives.
Mm-mm.
So there's dozens of
No.
kids in the hospital because of drinking Fireball all
Yeah.
day, all weekend. It's absolutely
I
horrendous.
got a feeling the RFK Jr. will get rid of that.
Mine is corn whiskey that I make from scratch,
Mm-hmm.
and it has Saigon cinnamon sticks and cinnamon oil, and then just sugar water.
Pretty much all natural.
All natural.
Perfect.
That's it.
Look how dark that is.
Well, this is super dark.
This is.
So anyway, if anybody wants an alternative to Fireball, what's the name of yours?
It's Devil's Forge.
Devil's Forge.
And the only reason it's called that is because it was going to be called Fire and Forge, and because of we tried to name so many things, blacksmithy, if I may. But on my third iteration of the formula, I was trying to go for 67 proof, like Fireball, and it kept going up to 66.6 every time.
Oh,
every
no
time.
way.
So I said, fuck it, I'm changing the name.
Absolutely perfect.
And it's Devil's Forge. And so then I went to my brother in LA. I'm like, all right, the new name is Devil. You need to come up with a creative damn label. And so now there's the devil in the background and little spirits floating up. And
absolutely perfect.
It worked out.
Well, we reached out to Brian with Lit and kind of talked to him about the mission of the whiskey.
Yeah.
He's been so supportive of it.
Well, so their Lit Cigar Lounge actually has a similar mission too. They support Backstoppers, National Hero Network, and all that kind of stuff too. So, just to touch on what you said, so
yeah.
They're very.
Side note, we have lit
generous.
cigars at the club and a cigar patio out back.
Yeah, we hold humidor at the club.
And brews.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
essentially, it's
festival.
a
Yeah,
group
fall
of
festival.
like-minded individuals that just come together.
Yep.
And
Well, that's true. It makes it easy. I met Brian years ago when he had his old location, and just a heck of a nice guy. Him and his wife Dana are just amazing, and they're very generous, and they're always taking care of people. And so we got along right away. So we've always been supporters of theirs, and they've been supporters of ours right away. And so they had a locker club there too.
Yeah.
So we have a locker at Lit, and try to support them. But yeah, just a fantastic facility. I really enjoy going there and hanging out with them.
And they have a new location on Main Street in St. Charles, right down the street from the club.
Right by the club.
Yeah, I'm sure do.
Yeah, Lit Tobacco and Pipe and Tobacco. Is it called?
Used to be John D. Degler, and it's been a tobacco shop for 100 years.
that was a long time. Yeah.
So yeah,
Classic.
you can roll in there and grab a little pipe and tobacco if you want to.
Yeah.
I could do that to someone, but you're not going to come in there to get your Tito's, your Woodford, your Fireball. Like, that's where I'm going to make my real money. So again, going back to the Bourbon Society, that's where I kind of learned people do appreciate when you sell it at Eagle Rare for $39.
Yeah, 100% they do.
People appreciate when you sell a Blands for $79 or $69. It was $59 back then. Now it's like $69, $79. But that's the concept I came with. It was like, okay, like, this is going to help me with my allocations. I'm going to meet my Maker's Mark quota for the year. I'll get a cellar age. I'm going to sell it for $159. You have to get tickets into the raffle. We call your name, you select whatever bottle, and you get MSRP pricing. Doesn't matter what it is.
That's sweet.
George T. Staggs, we sell for $129. The Handy's $129. Hopefully we can get an EHB Tech collection this year.
Oh yeah, that'd be killer.
That'd be $129 as well.
Well, to wrap this session up of the show, I would say, again, we've said it, but 1924 hands down is the winner. I would probably go 1920 number 2 and the single barrel number 3, which I know sounds crazy, but
yeah, I would think maybe. I think you're right. I mean,
here's the only reason: it's 115 proof. It doesn't drink like 115 proof. It's not too. I mean, it's got a little bit of a heat to it, but not terrible.
Subtle. I mean,
and when you're looking at it from a price perspective and ease of getting, it wins over all three of those all day long. And so, am I going to, try to hunt and find the single barrel for $75 or $80 when I can buy 1920 for $56 at a store?
that's a good point. It's a very good point. I mean, yeah. But in my eyesight, though, it's like I probably would prefer that one over that one just because of the harder to find, more rare. They're not always available. They're single barrel, so every single one's different. So I may be more apt to go towards that one when I see it. But like you said, from an everyday standpoint, if you're just wanting a good, solid whiskey, that one, yes, over the other one, just because you can find it every day. It's a good price point, and it's a great whiskey.
Yeah, well, I think if I was at a liquor store and they had the two bottles next to each other, I would agree with you. I would take the single barrel because it's harder to find, and now you have an opportunity to get one.
Yeah, it's a one-off, so yeah.
But if I'm going to the grocery store
or liquor store and it's, 115 or, Elijah Craig small batch, I'm buying 115 all day long.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
No, two
Absolutely.
radically different whiskeys, but I'm just saying, like, what I love about 1920 and 1910, you can pretty much get them anytime you want.
Yep.
And for somebody like me who drinks a lot, let's be honest.
You do. You go through a lot of Elijah Craig small batch, though. You do go through a lot.
I would tell you, if that's between that and Buffalo Trace, if I'm at home by myself, it's I would actually pick Elijah Craig small batch over Buffalo Trace, but either one of them is like my go-to if I'm at home by myself. Now, if I have company or I have somebody over, I'm not drinking those. I'm sharing something. But I bet I've been through 10 bottles of Elijah Craig small batch. I mean, I have probably 3 up there right now, and I just got the PGA bottle for the Masters. I love that. I love that bottle.
We'll open that after this, but
no, we won't be opening that bottle.
No, I mean, for me though, like honestly, you say Elijah Craig small batch or Buffalo Trace every day, I would open it up and drink it every day. I think Old Forester for me. I mean, that's usually like if I'm walking down looking at all my whiskey collection and I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to open some tonight, or I see other stuff. I'm like, as soon as I see Old Forester, I almost lean towards that.
Yeah.
Just because I always know what I'm getting. I love it. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just a poor white folk here, so I can't. I can't drink.
Pity me. Yeah, right, dude. I'm just a poor white folk. I just cut your grass 2 hours ago, and now I'm down in your basement doing this. Pity me.
I don't know. To drink a $56 bottle of whiskey nightly. Not that I drink nightly. I might sometimes.
Don't lie. Don't lie to these guys.
But I guess my point is, it's much easier to throw away a bottle of Elijah Craig small batch for $30 than throwing a $60 bottle. You know, but
well, then you can go a Benchmark Full Proof or an Old Granddad. I mean, those are both.
I tell you what, Old Granddad is a good freaking whiskey for $20-something bucks.
Benchmark Full Proof.
Well, I've got the Benchmark Full Proof up there. I don't know if I've tried that yet. The other one I haven't tried up there is the Old Fitzgerald that we got. It was like $11.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Is it tasty? Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
It's got a screw off top. I'm a little concerned.
No, some of them screw off tops are the best. They're hidden gems.
It reminds me of like barefoot wine when I was in high school. We would guzzle that stuff in the backseat of the car while we're driving to the country roads.
Yeah, I think that was probably Prohibition era kind of style, medicinal stuff. They probably had screw caps.
I guess, yeah, you're probably right.
Like old Greenbrier, stuff like that, the old Dusties, yeah. They got screw tops.
Yeah, so. I guess you remember right.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to bring a group down there that helped us pick the barrel that day. Then we also took that whole group back and we bottled this on the line down there at the distillery. So great with my dad cooking. So that bottle right there we did in conjunction with the group from STL Bucket List.
Yep. And they have a great TikTok, by the way. If you haven't followed them on TikTok, their TikTok is awesome.
Their social media is incredible. They do a great job.
Yeah.
But the reason we included them in this is this was our first single barrel that we did with a charitable aspect to it.
Nice.
So all of the proceeds from bottle sales from this barrel are donated to the Kauffman Fund.
As some of you may or may not know, Sazerac has a single barrel program, and you log onto their website and you accumulate points by being there every year or doing a survey or watching a video or whatever. And every year, 3 times a year, they pull numbers and people get their numbers drawn. You get your choice of whatever you want from any Buffalo Trace product.
And I was 1 number away, so.
Really?
Yeah.
I was not 1 number away.
You got it, yes.
I was not
yes,
1 number away. My number got picked, and so I got to pick this bottle with the St. Louis Bourbon Society. I kind of a cool story and cool sticker with it. I don't know if you see that sticker, but it's Back from the Dead. So the picture on the front of the bottle is my little dog. About 3 years ago, ironically, when we were at Huber's Starlight doing a pick, one of our first Starlight picks, they have a challenge at Starlight. When you get there, they're like, we have had a lot of people come here to do single barrel picks, and everybody thinks they can drink more than we can offer, and we're undefeated. And
I can't believe they actually said that. And they were serious.
They were absolutely serious. And the first thing we did when we were walking to where we had to do the pick, we ran into Ted, who's the owner, and he was blending brandies, giant barrels of 130 plus proof barrel-aged brandies. He said, guys want to try some brandy? So the first thing we did before we started drinking bourbon was 6 barrels of 130 plus proof brandy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then we went on to sample, I would say, roughly 20 or 21 different bourbons and rye.
I see where this goes going.
Well, I thought there was a flight of whiskey before we started any of that upstairs. So we had a flight of whiskey, a brandy barrel samples. Then we started sampling barrels in their barrel room, and at one point I asked Andrew, the barrel manager, I said, so when are we going to start this pick? Because we started like 10 barrels ago. He goes, I'm like, you didn't even talk about it. I know. I just keep trying until you find something you like. I'm like, oh my Lord.
Yeah.
I go, I need to keep notes, like we're already drunk. So
it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, you got crazy.
So anyway, long story short, we went back and had lunch, and I had this pizza that had every pepper known to man on it.
You did.
And
that was a mistake.
That was a huge mistake. And we went to dinner that night. I didn't drink anything or eat anything because I was not feeling well at all. And literally the next day, and this was the first time we had gone to the Old Carter Locker Club.
Yeah.
And more irony for the story, when we left the Old Carter, because I've been a huge Old Carter fan for many years, I said, man, I can die happy now. And the next day I had a heart attack. So the day I had that heart attack. I don't know why I'm laughing. That's not funny. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and that little dog woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, or I may have passed away in my sleep. So to honor her contribution to me being able to be alive to pick that barrel, my son said you should put her picture on that little medallion, which I did. And then I wanted to make it even more special. So we made a pact with the Bourbon Society admins years ago that if we ever want a barrel, we're going to pick it together. Yeah. And so I think I won it in September, and we were going to go pick it in January. Mm-hmm. Along comes December 28th, a few days after Christmas. I had another heart attack. My stent failed. And here I am now having surgery. And in the course of the surgery, I actually passed away because they nicked my heart and it stopped beating. Yeah. So I had to get defibbed twice. So I get through that. I get home, and I'm now, 10 days, January 10th, I think we're scheduled to go pick this. So it was up in the air, according to my cardiologist, if I would even be able to go pick it. And so once I was able to, and he cleared me to do that, and we did it, I'm like, I need to commemorate that on the back. So that's why Back from the Dead. And at the time, I don't know how many Blues fans you guys have on your podcast, but
I'm sure quite a few.
The Blues were coming back from the dead, the depths of the NHL to make the playoffs.
They were. Yeah.
And so that's why the Blue Note is on that sticker. So it commemorates me coming back from the dead, the defib and the eyes and the skeleton, and the Blues coming back.
That's awesome.
That's a great story. I'm glad you're here tonight to talk about it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to have shared this bottle because good friend of mine who owns Olive and Oak, Mark Hinkle, he also has a charity called the Ollie Hinkle Heart Foundation. I lost a son in 2016, and he lost a son as well, 1-year-old son to heart disease. Obviously, being a multiple survivor of heart attacks and having heart disease, that is a cause that is very near and dear to my heart. And 6 or 7 years ago, he came to me and said, hey, you have a lot of bourbon connections. Can you help me sell? Because he got a pick of Weller Full Proof and asked me if I would help him move that pick because he was selling raffle tickets and all the money was going to go to his charity. So I have so far with this barrel that I bought raised $6,400 for the Ollie Hinkle Heart Foundation.
Wow.
Awesome. Cheers to that, right?
Yeah, cheers to that.
Cheers to your dog and your son.
Yes. Cheers.
And cheers to you for still being here, buddy.
Amen.
I'm glad you're here.
Amen.
Let's talk about our first trip to Kentucky. We kind of already touched on it, but we'll talk a little bit about that. So you want to tell us about why we went down to Green River and talk a little bit more about, I guess, the mission of Fallen Brothers and how you tied your mission in to help a fellow firefighter out here in Wentzville, Missouri, where we both live. And talk about that experience, and I'll add some stuff as we got to go into it.
Sure, yeah. So our mission number one is to basically give back to families that lost a loved one in the line of duty. However, in the certain circumstance that you're talking about, Fire Captain Tommy Shine out of Wentzville Fire Protection District, he ended up having some difficult times here recently. He fell off a ladder, hit his head, basically had some staples in the back of his head. They did some scans, and they found an aneurysm in his heart. So they took him to surgery. They sealed him back up. Then he went into cardiac arrest for 72 minutes. They were able to revive him. However, he had a stroke, then ended up having a couple seizures, and all the vasopressors that he was on during that, which is a drug that pushes blood back to the heart for circulation, caused him to have some tissue necrosis in all of his limbs. So he recently had some amputations. He's in Chicago right now, gets prosthetics, making a massive recovery. You got to understand that this guy basically, he was intubated at the time, but they were putting him on comfort measures at one point to pull the plug, and that was it for him.
Yeah, I remember a Facebook post that talked about that like he wasn't gonna make it.
Yeah, so it was eventually the end for him, and it's sad to even talk about this, but I don't know if you remember that the Lake St. Louis, they actually have a movie about it.
Called Breakthrough.
Yeah, there was a young kid that fell through the ice and was under the water for 15 minutes. Well, Tommy Shine was the guy that went in and got him and rescued him, and they revived that kid. Well, that kid's now an adult, and he actually went to visit Tommy at the hospital the day they were about to extubate him, which means pull the intubation tube out and put him on comfort measures. Well, that kid got off the elevator and walked in the room, and Tommy basically perked up and started talking out of nowhere. And, if that don't give you goosebumps, I don't know what does.
I don't know what does.
But right now, my hair's standing up, excuse my language. But it's pretty crazy.
Right. I marked the podcast as explicit.
Okay, I was going to say.
There's no way we're going to.
I'm trying.
There's no way we're going to be able to not say a cuss word here and there when we're drinking bourbon and talking about.
This story chokes you up a little bit. But anyway, long story short, that happened, and it's an amazing story. And he's on the road to recovery. He's got his prosthetics. He's in rehab. He's almost walking on his own now. His eyesight's back to 80%. He's pretty much all with it. He was in a coma for a while too. So anyway, I guess I went off on a tangent there. I guess the moral story.
It was important.
I had to explain that to get to what we're about ready to talk about, which is what led me to go to Green River. My brand is a brand that sources whiskey. We don't distill anything currently. Now in the future we might, but we actually sourced a couple barrels from Green River. I took a team of like 13 people down, Tommy's wife, his son, they were all on that barrel pick with us. It was a special event, so we went down there, chose a barrel. Zach Macy, obviously, he gave us a tour and all that. We're giving $5,000 back to the family to take care of any medical bills or anything, to assist the family in any way,
Well, I also was cool was, and I'm sure a lot of this was Zach, but when we went up to actually do the tasting, they had the Rise and Shine logo. They had pictures of Tommy Shine on all the TVs. And you could tell Brittany was touched by that. Yep. You could tell Logan was touched by that. They did a phenomenal job. And I will say most of that was probably Zach Macy, who, you and I have both become friends with. But it was an incredible experience. I will say that I got to see, we went to rack houses. We went behind the scenes. We tried their, I call it White Lightning, but it's what do they call it? White wine?
Yeah, they're White Dog. They're wine, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Which was just interesting. I never had done that before. But the whole tour was absolutely incredible. And, my hat off to Green River and Zach on how they handled that.
They were definitely great hosts because we had more than usual this time around on the pick,
And we sampled 6?
We sampled 5 that time around. When I talked to Zach on the phone, he's like, we had a number and it was like 9 and then it grew to 11 and then it grew to 13. He's like, man, dude, you got to cut it off. But I was like, man, this is such a special pick, man. Yeah. We have to get it to 13. I wanted to be able to include everybody on this pick and to be a part of it because to me, it means the world. I work in a next door neighboring department to Tommy Shine. So I knew Tommy and to me, this means the world to be able to do this opportunity to do a barrel pick for them and also give them, the help they need, So,
and I will say that trip was smooth.
It was.
And when we opened, I think our shelves probably had like 50 or 60 different SKUs of bourbon and maybe like 10 SKUs of wine. And I mean, you've been in there now and you've seen how crowded the shelves are, and I've expanded those shelves and I've expanded them again. So
I remember
the counters covered in bourbon. Yeah. So there's like 200 to 220 SKUs of bourbon in there at any given time now. So like that's grown a lot.
Well, Joe, on behalf of the Barrel Room Bourbon Club and Barrel Room Podcast, we appreciate what you're doing for our community, man.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you, buddy.
Let's cheers. We got you got to get a little something.
You got to get a little something. I'm gonna do the new riff because that was good.
I still got some.
No, actually, you know what? Let's do it in honor of his daughter. Love that.
That's and not Creek is good. It's very good.
Oh, man. Love it.
How old is your little girl?
She is. I just built that all. She is 8 months now. She's about to be 9 months.
Well, I got a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. Baylor in Boston. Father's Day was obviously just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And, I realized, I'm very career focused, money focused. The best job is being a dad.
It really is.
It really is.
This one's definitely got a lot of color to it.
It does. It does. And again, our standard mash bill is the same as Elijah Craig. I was a huge Elijah Craig fan. I always have been. Just a nice, repeatable, lovely, never varies, beautiful product. That's why I have the toasted barrels like they did, and so this one, the nose is.
I feel like I should rinse my glass. That's still small and raw.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, you smell that, but that's got a nice little oaky.
And I'm very vanilla forward. I really like bourbons that have a vanilla forward note of sweetness, and so I really focus on that and really try to get that in all of our bourbons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've accomplished that in these. So
that's very good. Yeah, all I smell is that, right?
Don't taste it though.
I don't taste it. No, just smell it.
I don't taste it. I get an Elijah Craig like whiskey. I get the
very much so
oaky. I get like some leathery, kind of oily,
and you get the full tongue.
I mean, that's super oily. I mean, that's
the legs are great.
It's definitely.
And what's fun is I get the full tongue, but I also get it in the roof of the mouth.
Yeah, it's coating everything.
Yeah. Which, again, just character wise, we don't talk about flavor. Things that I want to have happen. I think it was. Oh shit! What's his name? The Ascot boy. The big guy that does all the judging, all the does the Ascot Awards. No,
I can't think of his name.
But you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That was something I read of his, and when I was reading through all of his notes, and I just it absolutely pulled me out when he said, "How does it touch your tongue?
Mm-hmm.
Does it touch the front of your tongue? Does it touch the sides of your tongue?" And when I bring this up at a tasting or an event, I watch people's eyes light up and their heads start nodding. What did it do? And compare it to something else. Did it give you a full tongue, side to tongue, back to, the whole thing? Yeah. And if you get a full tongue, it's just far superior, satisfying.
I have a full tongue right now. I just feel it right now.
It makes the mouth water.
Everything, yeah.
It makes the mouth water. Yeah. When you get that, even if it's a drier note, it still makes the mouth water.
So we're going to drink this for Lindsay.
That we did this pick.
Oh, behind every good man is a good wife.
Yeah,
that is 100%.
So
true.
This one's for Lindsay.
Trust me. I mean, our wives are taking care of kids right now. And we're
cheers to Lindsay Grillo.
There we go.
For putting up with Mike and the kids and also the business ventures.
That is 100% true.
And
none of it would have happened without her there for sure.
Yes.
I mean, is stuff stressful on me doing that? Yeah. Is stuff equally as stressful on her? Yeah, because she has to take on way more of the home duties that I would have been there to help with.
Of course.
So, I mean, that's like the blind side of business ownership that not a lot of people talk about is how hard it is on the spouse.
Yeah,
she's been awesome.
I mean, he knows it because he has to go to the firehouse for 48 hours.
I do,
and his wife
same deal.
She's
like a single mom for a while, right?
For 48 hours. Yeah, she's a single mom for 48 hours, and then I have the lawn care business. So when I come home, I got to cut grass, and then then I got the bourbon stuff and the whiskey brand, and it's just like so. Kudos to the wives out there. You guys are rock stars that support your husbands.
100%.
Without you guys, we couldn't do it. So
without my wife, none of that would be up there.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't be able to do anything.
100%. So
there we go.
Wives are amazing. truly are amazing.
Honestly, the margaritas, they had a great tequila selection.
Okay.
I think I told you this.
I would think with being on the ocean, all that tequila would probably be a little more prominent than
Tequila was
whiskey,
much
but-
more prominent.
Yeah.
So the one thing that Virgin does that's different from most cruise lines is Virgin does what's called a bar tab. So, like, if you go on a Royal Caribbean cruise,
I was going to pop this. You want me to pop
yeah,
this?
pop that. Let's do it. If you go on like a Royal Caribbean cruise or a Disney cruise, you can buy the drink package. Okay,
Yeah.
and the drink package might be $160 a day or $90 a day, depends on the ship.
Sure.
And it's basically unlimited drinks for the duration of your cruise. Well, the way Virgin Cruise does it is you have to buy what's called a bar tab, and they come in increments of like $250, $500, $750, $1,000. And once you buy that bar tab, that's your basically tab for the trip. Now, depending on which package you buy, if you buy like I did, I bought the $1,000 package. They give you $200 free. So we had $1,200 to spend in 4 days. Needless to say, we didn't. And so the last night we had like $400 left. And I was like, I'm not going to just let this $400 go to waste. I basically have already paid for this $400, right? So we're going to either spend this $400 or we're going to spend it on somebody else, which we basically did both of. But we went to this tequila bar and I asked for the highest end tequila they had on the ship. And it was a Casa Azul, but it wasn't like the normal Casa Azul. It was some special limited edition. I don't remember what it was. It was $82 for the shot.
Oh shit! Was it like a black bottle?
No, it was like crystal clear.
Okay.
I had never seen the bottle. And if you even go to the website, it's not on their website because I tried looking up because it was the best tequila I've ever had in my life.
Interesting.
I mean, you didn't need salt, you didn't need lime, you didn't need anything.
Mm-hmm.
All you tasted was.
This is delicious. I like this Knob Creek
Yeah.
a lot, and I don't have
So-
Knob Creek on my shelf. So Joe, I guess I'm gonna be buying one of those from you.
Nah, you can keep that.
I mean,
Oh,
honestly, Henley doesn't fail you. So,
No,
he doesn't.
He's got a palate out of this world.
he does. I mean, that's over 30 years of experience. So I mean,
It is.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he'll never force me
Really?
to do a pick. The way he sets it all up, he works with everyone
Mhm.
that's there. So we'll taste everything. He goes, all right, guys, like, which one do you guys not like? So we'll get the majority going, and then we'll pop that up. But say if there's a debate between 1 and 2, he'll never be like, oh, this is the one you're picking. It's never.
That's kind of cool.
Because it's very humbling, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because he never has forced me. If I'm like, no, fuck, Henley, I don't like that shit. I'm going to take this one. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do, but this is my opinion. But luckily, like, he's taught me so much of tasting it and like getting all the notes and your scents that I've been learning a lot about my palate through him.
Now this is one that I always get a kick out of. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Tell me if you can identify that. No, this is in so many bourbon descriptions, and I'm like, how would a bourbon ever taste like that?
A nasty shoe. What the hell is that?
Oh,
It's like a nasty shoe or something.
Now smell it with your mouth open. Forget. It's just, these were derived by
I
distillation
didn't want to smell it with my mouth open.
because that nasty shoe is leather.
Yeah.
So you're closer. You're closer than anything. But I'm just thinking that when these guys do these write-ups, and I'm not being sexist, I haven't read any of these write-ups by women, whiskey advocate, that are all like that.
But here's what I'll say, and then we'll dive deeper into this. The myth of Virgin Cruise Line as being a sexual swingers cruise line, we did not experience that, unfortunately. Or fortunately, however you want to look at it.
I was hoping to hear all kinds of.
But no, I'll never forget my father-in-law was in my kitchen when I told him what I had booked for our 5-year wedding anniversary. And he goes, that's a swingers cruise. He's like, they're going to put sex chocolates on your pillow at night. I was like, what? So obviously my wife and I were like, what the heck did we just get ourselves into?
Yeah.
It was nothing like that. So we actually had a blast.
What about what was in the refrigerators? Remember that you told
I
me?
was researching it, and there was like rumors that instead of a refrigerator, there was going to be like this refrigerator cabinet that was going to have brand new unused sex toys. And so we were
unused.
Yeah, like I would hope they would be unused. I hope they're not like reuse and recycle those things. You know what I mean?
Still alcohol wipes.
That's just no. There was not that, but we looked as soon as we got on, and funny, my wife was going through a drawer and she found this like pink bag, and she holds it up and she's like, "Is this them?" Like thinking it was sex toys, and I'm like, "Babe, I don't think so. They would put sex toys in this pink bag." It was the freaking hairdryer. But she was so petrified that they were going to have like sex toys in our room.
She was.
That
weeks leading up to this, she had some
she
anxiety.
Did. Well, both of us did. I was,
the stories that you heard and stuff like that, you would think that it was going to be some wild deal, but
it wasn't.
Yeah.
You know the story on that barrel?
I do a tiny bit.
I don't think we're allowed to say that one either.
I didn't want to speak on it, but I do know a little bit on the story of it. But
let's just say they thought the barrel was a dead soldier. It had fallen in the water, literally, and spent the winter in there because Demetrius couldn't get to it with his tractor. And when spring came, and all of a sudden he thought it was gone. He thought it would be sunk, finished. And when spring came, all of a sudden this barrel stuck out of the water. And he went down, got it, pulled it out of the pond, and pulled it up and cracked it, did a little thief taste, and he's like, incredible.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
That's an awesome story. Yeah, that's a cool story. I'm going to throw a challenge real quick to anybody listening or watching this. If you can legally tell me, meaning I won't get arrested by TSA, if I'm allowed to bring a 3-ounce Asian ore glass through security as a carry-on onto the plane, you will get your name into this next month's raffle for the blind bottle. Because several people have told me you can. And when I asked the TSA checkpoint person when I flew to Hawaii, he said, absolutely not.
Oh,
No
really?
liquor is allowed through here. Now, maybe that's because I told him it was liquor. But if I put liquor in here and put it in my backpack, would they stop me? Would they catch it? Could I get in trouble? I don't know.
The irony of the ventilation, I can say it now, is when we were building this place, it came to get time to get mechanical permitting from the county. And purely based on square footage and CFMs out of the HVAC, they held our project because they said we didn't have adequate ventilation. I mean, when I tell you the extents we went to, we were lucky enough to get a face-to-face meeting with the leadership team at the county. And I said to him, listen, no disrespect to anyone, but we pulled them. You could pull every mechanical permit for every cigar lounge in St. Louis County, and you could add up individually what all of them spent on HVAC, and it doesn't total what we have budgeted for HVAC. And you're going to tell me we don't have enough? Like, are you kidding me? Wow. Are you kidding me? And so we obviously finally got it done, but it was a struggle. It was a struggle.
To get access to some of these, they can be expensive, but this is one of those deals where it's great light whiskey. Mm-hmm. It's not sourced. They make it themselves, and you're talking under $40.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Kidding me?
Yeah, you can't beat that for sure.
And we've done many picks with Starlight. Starlight makes a great product.
And they're getting better. And
that price
they're getting better.
And their age is jumping up there because for a while they had nothing in but 5-6 year range. Now they're getting in the almost 10-year range.
It definitely smells cakey.
Yeah, it is cakey. So that's our common theme with light whiskey. Mm-hmm. Vanilla frosting, wedding cake type.
No stone fruit.
Definitely no stone fruit.
Not so much with light whiskey. You need some rye spice in the grain.
Right. So why do I see every week there's a different cheesecake or something like that? Is that your mom's recipe?
No, it's not. So we don't actually do. Yeah, we don't actually do the desserts. That's a friend of mine. His wife does the desserts for us. She has a small commercial kitchen that she do the desserts out of now. So, but she makes the best cheesecake. I don't know if you've ever had a cheesecake.
I literally see every week there's a different cheesecake, and I'm like,
and I'm like a cheesecake junkie. I mean, it's one of the bottles up here.
So my wife will tell you the same thing. I am a cheesecake fanatic. Turtle cheesecake is my number one. Strawberry cheesecake, turtle cheesecake, that's what I go for every time. Yeah. So cheesecake, everything for me. Yeah.
But yeah, she does. She makes some of the best cheesecake I've had, and so she's like, "Hey, do you want me to make you a cheesecake or two every week?" And I was like, say less. I mean, if we don't sell it, I have dessert. There's no downfall here.
Yeah. Yep. Everybody's going to smoke different cigars and have different palates. Him and I have different palates. My neighbor across the street, Bob, we have different palates. As long as you're, having fellowship and making, I mean, that's what whiskey all is to me. 100%. It's just, and cigars. It's just socializing and having something to bond over and talk about, which is what makes really this St. Louis community really, really cool, because there's so many different people like Mike Grillo, Demetrius, you guys, Joe Maui, St. Louis Bourbon Site, we all kind of become friends through just this community of whiskey and cigars. And that's why I do it, and I love whiskey.
Yeah, you meet like-minded people, the fellowship, everything that's involved.
I mean, if I didn't start this, him and I didn't start this podcast, I don't know if we would have met. For sure. Like I said, you can go on there, you can become a member for free. We have 3 levels of membership. We have free, which means you're welcome to show up and come to our events that we have. You're welcome to have camaraderie, and you get invited to the private Facebook group that we have, where there's always people posting stuff in there weekly of what bottles they're buying, where they're buying it, things along those lines. That's free. Anybody can sign up for that as long as you've been invited. Again, this is your invitation to join.
And we're on social media, so if you just want to get on Facebook and type in Barrel and Bourbon Club and like us, share us, follow us on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok.
And you can also go to the private page and see if there's 84 members on the private Facebook page. If you know anybody in there, shoot them out and be like, hey, can I join? Or tell me about this. Trust me, they'll be more than happy to chat up with you and talk to you about it. This club's going on now, 3-4 months. This is hands down the best bottle we've had. I mean, that is at 130 proof. That doesn't even drink like 105 proof. Nope. It is smooth. Yeah, that's a really good bottle.
We call this the Bananas Foster. You get the banana, you get that creamy sweetness, and then you get that cinnamon on the back end. It's my favorite pick we've ever done.
So usually Old Forester has massive red fruit notes, and I don't get a ton. Like you said, banana was like you said, banana immediately was what I got. Bananas Foster just nails it for sure.
So how many bottles of that we got left here?
Not many.
Yeah.
There's probably 3 cases left of that.
Probably, give or take.
Yeah. So basically, what we're saying is this is the best bottle we've had tonight. Not knocking the other 2 because they were fantastic. And there's only a few cases left.
So we had like 25 barrels opened up, and he's like, just go ahead and smell them all and then tell me which one you want to try. And I'm like, holy shit. So you're basically telling me just to like sniff these bungs.
Yeah, sniff the bung hole.
So he pulls all the bungs out and he's like, sniff the bung hole and then tell me which one smells good and you can try whatever one you want. And I'm like, all right, well, that one smells good.
All of them? I don't know.
That one smells good. That one smells good.
The big thing is, to be able to have fellowship within a spirit, not to be intimidated, you don't have to have a certain level of experience. You can be novice. You can be, 12 years in, you could have 1 bottle, you could have 150, you could have 700 bottles. The whole goal is just to get together, to network, to meet each other, to have fellowship in the spirit, essentially, is the big thing for me. And I know over the last couple of weeks or even over the last month, and talking with people, they know that I'm in whiskey, I have a brand or this or that. And I try to tell them, they're like, hey, I'm a little nervous. I don't know if I want to come to your club because I don't have anything to provide for you. Like, I only got like a, low end whiskey, or what should I bring? And I'm like, honestly,
bring anything.
You can just show up. We usually have 30 to 40 bottles sitting on the table. It's a free for all. You can pour samples anyone you want. Everybody's nice. Everybody's friendly. And if not, just go to the store and pick up a bottle or grab what you have that you like to drink every day. I mean, people will still drink it. I mean, and you'll still have a good time. That's the goal.
Well, Joe, on behalf of the Barrel Room Bourbon Club and Barrel Room Podcast, we appreciate what you're doing for our community, man.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it, buddy.
Let's cheers. You gotta get a little something.
You gotta get a little something. I'm gonna do the new riff because that was good.
I still got some.
No, actually, you know what? Let's do it in honor of his daughter. Love that.
And Knob Creek is killer. It's very good.
Oh, man. Love it.
How was your little girl?
She is. I just spilled that all. She is 8 months now. She's about to be 9 months now.
Well, I got a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. Baylor in Boston. Father's Day was obviously just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And, I realized, I'm very career focused, money focused. The best job is being a dad.
It really is.
It really is.